Howdy heckin' hey, it's been a lukewarm minute. How are you doing? Good? Good. I'm great. Let's get on with the video. So I'm kind of straying away from the content I usually make today, simply because this is a situation where I haven't fully been involved, but it keeps popping up on my YouTube recommended, my Twitter, even a little bit on my Instagram somehow, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it, and that's the entirety of the Pkrussl situation. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pkrussl is another YouTube content creator who's most commonly known for his animation meme review videos, in which he gets children, mostly at least, to submit their animation memes and he'll compile them in one video and review, critique, and generally demotivate them. It's very harsh criticism, but it's the kind of criticism that is entertaining to watch, at least for the younger demographic. I actually submitted one of my animation memes to Pkrussl on a whim one time, and it actually got featured, and he said some generally kind of nice stuff towards the end. I will admit it was a little demotivating, but what did I expect submitting to Pkrussl? And that's actually where I got one of my first YouTube subscriber spikes from, so I'm forever grateful for that experience. I was a fan of PK for quite a while. I watched Animation Meme Review religiously every episode that came out just because I thought it was entertaining to watch, and I actually kind of enjoyed the way he gave criticism. I was around for his initial drama with Ray, Ginger Ninja OWO, that is how it's pronounced, fight me. But yeah, I was around when PK and Ginger Ninja butted heads a little bit, and I actually have a script for a YouTube video that I was going to make way back when that was a big deal. Just criticizing them both on the situation and how things could have been handled, but I ultimately decided not to just because I didn't feel it was really necessary. So I just kind of let the drama unfold on its own, and yeah, nothing really came of it, so that was good. And when I found out that he came out as a furry, I was shocked, but also kind of happy about it because, like, as someone who only came out as being a furry maybe a year ago, I don't know, I really resonated with that, and I was like, ooh, there's another one of me out there. But yeah, after finding that out, I would watch his videos on being a furry and the furry drama going on Twitter. Some of that stuff was really fucked, by the way. Like, what the hell is going on in the furry community on Twitter? But yeah, I would watch those videos. I really resonated with him, and I was also a really big fan of Spockter theory. So when the whole Pentagon, Atari, and Stories drama came out, I was really proud to see Pkrussl be one of the first to stand up for Spockter when he took the blame for everything and he apologized when he didn't need to and he hadn't done anything wrong. That being said, after the entire Spockter situation, PK kind of fell off my radar for a little bit, and I hadn't seen or heard anything from him until the Has Been Hotel review. I still haven't seen the review or Has Been Hotel itself, but from other people's videos and from reactions on Twitter, I can see it was pretty bad, and apparently he made like a number of response videos to try and recover from the situation. Hopefully everything went down okay-ish. I don't see why he should still be getting backlash for it, but then again, I don't know much about that situation, so we'll just kind of glaze over the Has Been Hotel thing. I probably should have said this earlier in the video, but I'm going to say it now just so that you guys can have a general idea of what this video is. This is not a tea spill video. This is not a drama centric video, I guess. I'm not going to explain when things happened, how they happened, and why they happened, and stuff like that. If you want more detailed videos explaining those kinds of things, I'll leave some in the description just so that you guys can kind of understand what the situation is. I'm just going to mention a couple of key things, how I feel, how I think things are being handled, why I think certain things are happening, and just stuff like that. Again, not a deep dive, not a tea spill video, just my overall thoughts on the bare minimum information I have. Now, in my time watching Pkrussl previously, he's had some major, some minor accusations and claims thrown at him. Some of these include like nitpicking, being too harsh, bullying kids, not understanding animation, playing the victim card. There was a whole lot of furry controversy where they were claiming he was a pedophile or he was associated with pedophiles. There was just a lot of stuff going on with PK. But he always somehow managed to bounce back from it, and even with the serious claims, it would just kind of disappear, and he wasn't really affected by it, miraculously. So naturally, when the Has Been Hotel situation happened, it kind of just disappeared after all of his response videos. Like, nobody really talked about it after that, at least to my knowledge. And then once again, PK just kind of fell off my radar. Until I heard about the New Year's photo. The, the ball drop, if you know what I'm saying. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to say it directly. He posted a picture of his ass and balls on Twitter. Yep, that's what he did. Ass and balls. Oh, and he was in a fursuit. When I found out about the photo, I was kind of shocked and a little bit disappointed with PK, just because I know he has a very young audience, and I know he knows he has a very young audience. But at the end of the day, this didn't directly or personally affect me. It just kind of left me wondering if everything was alright with him and what on earth made him think it was a good idea. And naturally, posting a photo like this caused a lot of people to kind of freak out and make videos about him and talk about how his audience was super young and he shouldn't have done something like that. But even though I know his audience is ridiculously young in terms of age range, I don't want to go into the morality of posting that photo, simply because what's been done is done, and there's already been so many people lecturing him about how he shouldn't have done it, or how his audience was really young, or how he needs to take responsibility. And with that many people telling you the exact same thing, at one point it's just going to go in one year and out the other, and he won't actually absorb the severity of what's happening, even if his numbers suffer. It's just la 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 la. What I will say on the matter though is that if you are a child, 13 to 18, so you are still technically a child, but you can still technically use Twitter, and you saw that photo, you are not at fault for seeing that photo, because there were no filters. There was nothing preventing you from seeing that. And the people who are trying to convince you that it's your fault you saw that photo are disgusting. And there is no reasonable person out there who would think that it is okay to blame a child for seeing something of that severity that had no filter on it. That's not directly a Pkrussl issue, but it is an issue with Pkrussl's fan base, and it's something I saw a lot when I did a little bit of research on the photo situation. So just putting that out there. And on top of the photo situation, sometime after, or at the same day, I don't actually know the timing of these events, he posted this video onto his YouTube page, which is age restricted, but it's not age restricted because he put the age restriction on there. It's age restricted because YouTube saw it, filtered through it, and realized, shit, there's a blurred penis on the screen. Age restrict that shit. Now, I will go and say that the Twitter situation was a little bit of a grey area, because technically he is allowed to do whatever he wants and yada 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 yada. But the YouTube thing is an entirely different situation. I'm not entirely sure why he did this or why he thought it was okay. It's impossible to have the full picture and understand what led him to do this, unless he's willing to talk about it. But I have noticed after his response to Junkie, his thumbnails have started getting more lewd. Like, they're just taking a lot more of a lewd turn. So, my theory, my YouTuber theory, is that all of this is just an extreme way to kind of age up his audience, so to speak. Like, target an older audience in order to avoid getting fined from COPPA. Because, let's face it, his audience is mostly children. And the children's content has a fuck ton of restrictions on it. Like, last time I checked, you couldn't even subscribe or get notifications, but that's old news now at this point. So, in order to avoid getting fined for falsely claiming his videos as non-children content, even though his audience is mostly children, and to also avoid correctly labeling them as made for children and getting all of those video restrictions, he potentially decided that the best thing to do would be start slowly posting lewd content, getting all of the kids out of the audience so that only the adults remain, and then keeping the benefits of having content not made for children. And also not risking getting fined because of falsely flagging videos as not made for children. But again, we can never know for sure unless PK wants to talk about it himself. Again, that's just a weird tinfoil hat YouTuber theory. I've got nothing to back it up aside from sudden lewd content, not seeming to care that his audience is mostly children when he posts that content. So take all of that with like an entire sea's worth of salt, because there's no basis. That's just me kind of brainstorming and trying to understand the situation. I'm not sure if this is the kind of content I want to continue making. Just in terms of talking about other YouTubers, I'm not sure if it's really my thing. I just wanted to talk about the Pkrussl situation because Pkrussl and his content kind of resonated with me back when I was in a really dark place, and that's actually why I submitted to Animation and Meme Review as well. I was in a dark place at the time, and so when I found out about all of this controversy, it kind of struck a chord with me. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about the Pkrussl situation. If I missed something or there was something I didn't talk about that you want me to talk about, leave it in the description, not in the description, in the comments. I don't think I'll make another Pkrussl video, but I will respond to the comments if you want my thoughts and opinions on certain things. But other than that, stay warm, stay toasty, stay cozy. If you sneeze in the video, bless you, and have a nice life.